Hello, Matt again. All right, today we're going to work on how to get students into your course that you've made. Your most incredible course has nobody taking it, and now it's time to get somebody in there. All right, so there's 3 different ways to get people into the course. One way you need to have turned on, but you have no control over, and that's manual enrollments. Okay, you can add students manually, but you have to get that information to ETS, actually the help desk. You can get a list to them. They will add them manually. You do not have permissions in Moodle to do that, but they will do it for you. So I'll show you where that's at. The other way is self-enroll, and you can have people self-enroll with a key or a password or without one. I'll show you how to do that. The final one is guest access. Guest access is available. However, anybody who logs in under a guest is not tracked. So you'll have no idea what they've done or if they've done anything. So typically that's not a good way to go, but it is there in case you want to let somebody just go in and look at the course. Okay. So let's go ahead and check it out. We're in our test course. You access the enrollment options under users, enrollment methods. All right. Now I've already been in here messing around, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, guest access off, and I'm going to turn off self-enroll, but I'll show you how to do this. Okay, so when you come into it, it's going to look like this. Manual enrollments will be active because the I is not crossed out. The other 2 are not active because the I is crossed out. Okay, so let's just go into manual enrollments just to look. The settings in here, it's enabled. Okay, you don't need to mess with anything in here. Just leave that stuff alone. So cancel out. Now what you're going to want to do is set up self-enroll. This actually said self-enroll before, but I changed the name and I'll show you where. So if you want to edit this, go ahead and click on the gear. I renamed it Student Enroll. You don't have to. I just did it for fun. All right, so allow new enrollments, yes. Enrollment key, you can unmask it. I put a key in there called test key. Now if you don't put a key in there, basically when they go to the site, it'll just have an enroll button and they'll click it and they'll go right in. So anybody can go in, all right? And maybe that's fine. If you put a key, then they'll have to add the key and then click enroll, okay? So this is where you do it. Group enrollment keys we'll go over later in a different video. It's more technical. It's very handy in ways, but we'll show you how to do it later. Okay, and then a bunch of different settings that you can do as far as self-enroll goes. You can have them have a start date and an end date, so they're only enrolled during that period. You could have them unenrolled if they were inactive. You know, not bad features. And then you can have a max number of users in your course. If you need to limit the amount of people, put a number in there. All right, now this is checked by default. I'm going to ask you to uncheck it. This send course welcome message is a neat feature, you would think. However, we have a bug in the system that when you use this and when somebody enrolls, it throws up a bunch of 1s and 0s and crazy text and kind of freaks out the user. It's not a problem, but I don't think you want to freak out any of your users or your students. So don't use it for now. If it gets fixed, we'll let you know. Okay, so after you set that up, you click Save Changes. And then it's still grayed out here because the I is crossed out. So you want to go ahead, go in, click on the I. Now you have student enroll or self-enroll activated. So when they go to the site, they're going to see a little text box where they add the key and then enroll button. Okay. Now guest access is the last one. There's actually a different way to turn this on. You can turn it on here and it'll give guest access without a key. Okay, so if I just do this, now there's guest access by the self-enroll. So you'll have guest access button and self-enroll and student enroll and button. But you can add a key to it too, but you do that in the settings of the course. Okay, so since we're in our test course, we're still within the course. We can go into edit settings right here and I'll show you where that is. All right, so let's expand all. Let's go on down here to guest access. Now, because I clicked on it, it says yes. Now, I was in here before and I added a key, but this is typically not there. Okay, let's unmask it. But since I was in before, I added a key. So now because we've activated the key and allowed guest access, sorry, talking kind of fast. When they go to the course, you'll see both things. And when we do that in a minute, you'll see it. Okay. So now on this course, you can contact DTS and have them manually enroll people in the course. You can give them the key to the course and have them enroll. You can allow them to enroll with guest access. Now, guest access, like again, is not a good idea, but it's a capability that we have. All right, so I'm going to save this. Okay, so what we did, to review real quick, is we went into users, enrollment methods. We turned on student enroll or self-enroll. We turned on guest access. We put a key to both of those. Okay? So now you know all three methods. I'm going to go ahead and log out and then log back in under a different user so I can show you what it looks like when you go to the course. Took a little finagling, but I got back in under a different account now. So what we're going to do is go into the course, and remember, we set up enrollment options of a guest enroll with a key or a password and self-enroll with a password or a key. So let's go into the course and see what it looks like. Okay, so we're in our test course. It has two different login areas. Guest access with the password and student enroll. If you'll remember, we renamed it student enroll with a password. Typically, you don't want to use guest access because it does not track that person. Okay, so typically it'll be the student enroll, self-enroll down here. So what they will do is type in their key, which was test key, and then enroll. All right, now I'm going to mention that you saw that the guest access did not say enroll. It just said submit. That's because you're not really enrolling, you're just getting access to the course. Okay, so for enrollment, you can have three different things. You can have a manual enroll, a self-enroll, and a guest enroll. So now you've learned how to enroll people in your courses, which of course is important. The next video is going to be on completion tracking, so you know who's been taking the course, how much they've completed, and when they finished it.